Hey everybody, Scojo in 360 here. Welcome to another edition of the Premiere Pro for beginners. Intermediates, we don't need you. Nah, go on about your business. Beginners, we want to get you started. In fact, in the last chapter, I literally got you up to the point where you made your sequence settings and you dropped in your first piece of video. And what we're using as the foundation for this is my Burning Man video that I made. Let's take a quick look at that Burning Man video, or at least a portion. Here we go.
Hello, and welcome to Burning Man.
We're on our way to putting up our elephant carousels on this Saturday. We're very excited for this.
So we took the elements from that Burning Man sequence and dropped it into an all new project. So we're starting from scratch, but using the same video elements that was in that Burning Man video. Let's take a look. All right, so the intro that you saw of me saying hello and welcome to Burning Man is right here. See this little sucker right here? Yeah, I'm gonna drop that right into my sequence. Now the good thing is when I drop it in there, the Premiere Pro is going to actually automatically read what my footage is, and it's going to actually set up the sequence with those parameters in it. So we're already off and to the races. Here we go.
Hello, and welcome to Burning Man.
Now I should really quickly just kind of give you a lay of the land as far as Premiere is concerned. As you see, my whole layout here is not the way everyone has theirs laid out. In fact, this layout is new to me as well. But as you can see, we've got all kinds of different setups for using things like, oh, when you're going to cut audio, that adjusts the way things are set up so it makes it easier to do your audio. Let's take a look. If you want to come over and do some color, that's what they call color balancing. We'll get into that way down the road. But if you're going to do your color balancing, it brings it in here and you can do all kinds of fun stuff playing around with color. And then you can also go into editing, which is what I have it in. Okay, so we've got the opening shot, but why don't we drop in something else? The way you drop things in, let's break it down. I'm gonna look for a piece of footage that looks fun to me. I've labeled these all in advance. Another thing that we'll get to in another chapter about why you do that. But I like this little clip that was bikes at night, and I'll hit the L button to go forward and preview it. So if you want to preview, you're going to use your J to go backwards, you're going to use K to stop, and you're going to use L to go forward. Got that? J, K, L. J, K, L. Now the other thing you want to do is when you see the portion of the clip that you want, you're going to use I for in and O for out. So that's going to take that little piece of video. When I come up here and click on it and drag it into my sequence, boom, suddenly it's there. Now, did you notice something? You notice there are what appear to be two files here. That is the video and that is the audio. So you're gonna have two separate tracks when you drag it down, unless you decide you just want the audio, you click here, or just the video, you click here. I'll show you that real quick. See, there's just the video, drop, and just the audio, drop. So that's how you can get your sequence started. We'll move on to the next steps in the next chapter. Just wanted to get you dropped in, up and going, setting it up, being workspace, and doing other things that I'm now confused about. Okay, now that's real simple basics, but at least now you know how to drop your footage in, how to get something, the in and out points, scrubbing around, getting your sequence started. In our next chapter, we will actually go into starting to build a sequence. Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of my Premiere Pro for beginners. We've gotten through how to get everything set up. We've gotten into how to start your first sequence. In the next chapter, we're going to talk about and show you doing the actual sequence. So stay tuned. Thank you so much for everybody who has already subscribed. If you haven't subscribed, hit that little button. And when you hit the button on the side, yeah, you will get a notification every time I produce new content. I am Scojo in 360. I am out of here.